It's Jackie, and I'm here at day 2 of Bunbury in Cincinnati with Arizona, who's from New Jersey. See if you can keep track of all of that. That works. So, being from northern New Jersey, I have to ask the important questions first. Sorry, guys. Best place to get a good pork roll?
It's actually called Taylor Ham. So, and that would be a place called Bagel Gourmet in Glen Rock, New Jersey.
Like we like to say, Bagel Grommet.
Yeah, we call it Bagel Grommet because it's the local, but yeah, that's the fire spot for Taylor Ham.
Is that where you get a Taylor ham and coffee?
Taylor Ham, egg and cheese, some hot sauce, some coffee. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, salt and pepper. Yeah, that's it.
It's a northern Jersey thing, kids. You wouldn't understand. You just have to. So you guys have had a really big year. What are some highlights for you?
Oh man, everything.
We're doing the Panic at the Disco tour this year, which is pretty insane. That's going to be crazy for us. Super stoked about that one.
How did that come about?
I don't know. They were just like, hey, you guys are cool. You want to come on tour with us? And we were like...
Well, our manager did it in a funny way. Like, we were all in the city. We were in Harlem writing because we, got this Airbnb. We were like, let's get out of Jersey, but not go too far. And, we were, in this living room that we turned into a studio, and we were bumping it, and, our manager comes in, and he's like, guys, our agent Ryan, he's like, Ryan's going to be here in, a little bit with, some news, so, you guys want to stay close. And we were like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
And then, we all sat down, and then he was like, wait, Jake didn't tell you yet? Yeah, Panic at the Disco. They want to bring you on tour. And we were like, oh. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because so we're finishing our second album right now, and we were still in that sort of process. So we're finishing the second album, getting some singles ready, and we were supposed to go on a headliner sort of in that same area. And then Ryan, our agent from UTA, came and was like, yo. How would you guys feel about doing an arena tour with Panic? And I was like, what? So we moved all of our other tours, and all the other stuff. We moved it around until the end of the year, and we're doing this tour from July 11th until August 18th, which is crazy. I'm probably gonna try to get some singles from the new album out, basically before the tour, and then maybe during the tour, and then the album whenever. But it's just been it went from all up in the air to a very stacked back half of the year very fast. So.
Very nice. And you also had a sold-out headlining tour as well, right? Months in advance you were already sold out?
Yeah.
What do you attribute this momentum all of a sudden? And what do you think is helping things click right now?
I don't know. For us, it's a little difficult to say because we spent most of our time just in the basement working on the music, and then we announce a tour, and before we can even say tickets are on sale, we get all these messages this city's already sold out, that city's already sold out, this city's half cap already, and we're like,
yeah. San Francisco, they added a show for our headliner in San Francisco basically the day following because it sold out in 4 minutes or something, and then they added another one, sold out another 4 minutes. It's just weird because you don't really know how far this stuff reaches or how strong it is because it's kind of just a number on a screen. You see a big number on a screen as far as streaming goes, however many million people, and it's that's wild enough as it is. And then when you go to actually go out into the world and play, these things sell out, and that's 1 degree closer. You're like, oh, that's kind of crazy. And you show up, and you just have the best people in the world just out there supporting you. Not sometimes, every night, and it's packed to the walls. And even if you're having a shitty day, those people will literally just be there for you, that night, and the energy's wild. So it's just I don't know where it comes from, but it's such a blessing to us that we have it. Yeah.
You mentioned music streaming. What role do you see music streaming having in the music industry in the next couple of years?
Oh, wow. Streaming's been one of those things that I feel now is becoming the mainstream. And it's complex because no one owns anything anymore. So it's twofold because you're so accessible, but at the same time, you're also super disposable. It's probably like being a chef, right? The food's consumed and then that's it. But you might have spent hours marinating that. And
I really appreciate that metaphor. I like that. I think that is super accurate. I like that, especially because you have a wide variety of dishes to choose from, and it's you have to choose one, and then it's gone.
So that's why or something.
Yeah, we love
I mean, food is good at any rate. Do you think that there's still a place for tangible music like CDs, and some people, spend the extra money and go the extra amount to release vinyl? A couple of bands are still doing cassettes as like a.
We have our vinyl,
And we have a cassette.
We do have a cassette. I
Yeah.
forgot we had a
Yeah.
cassette. I don't own one of our cassettes.
Me either.
I'll be honest, I don't have a cassette player.
say, what are you gonna play it on?
But we also didn't want to waste. That's why. It's like, why have
Well, I
it?
actually really wanted one.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah, there's a place. I mean, Nate will tell you. Nate has a huge
Yeah.
collection of vinyls.
I love vinyl. I think vinyl, in my opinion, I think vinyl's like the only real like strong physical format right now. I think a lot of it is for the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the novelty of it. Like people at the end of the day, people still love having physical formats of albums they love, but no one wants a CD.
I have stacks of like empty jewel cases. I'm like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I've got the CDs. I still have CDs. I play them in my car because I'm old. But vinyl has a place, and I think throwing away a vinyl record is much more hard to do than like a CD or a cassette.
Vinyl to me feels like an extension of the artwork, an extension of the craft. Whereas CDs, for the most part, have always felt pretty throwaway.
I'll be honest, we were getting there. Like, there were those CDs that you could turn over and engrave stuff with the laser, and it was getting there, and then it fell apart. But if you go to Japan, there's still tons of CDs.
Yeah.
There's still a market.
Interesting.
Yeah, horses for courses, I suppose. Right? Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned earlier that you're working on new music. How is the new music you're working on kind of an evolution since Gallery?
We've been basically taking the same approach as the first album. So the first album, we just put together a playlist of stuff that we were really messing with at the time that we really liked, and we just let that sort of inspire us. So that when we we lived with it, like we just did everything with it. So when we went into the studio, it's kind of something that just came through us. Same process. This album, we made a playlist. A lot of the alt '80s stuff, though. So instead of bringing back like the electronic '80s and like a lot of what would be considered EDM back then, which is a lot of people are doing that now. I feel like we're bringing back stuff that I feel like maybe people were forgetting about, like or thought was novel, like the stuff you'd hear in like movies and soundtracks in the '80s. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, that song. But like no, they're crazy songs. Like and those kids were a band like us back in the day. So like stuff like the Outfield, Rick the Outfield, Rick Springfield, like Aha, the Police, like. Just like we have this whole playlist of really, really cool stuff with a vibe of those guys that just didn't care. Like they just jammed so hard. And it was just sexy music. Those guys really did it back then. So I feel like for us, we tried to, get into that vibe and maybe try to put the Arizona 2018-19 spin on that energy. Maybe not the sound so much, but definitely the vibes.
I can't believe you didn't throw out Bon Jovi, though. I mean, really?
I mean, Jersey musicians are always going to have a special place in our heart. I just think that the real thing for Jersey, for us at least, when I think about it, like was one of my favorites is more modern, which is Jack Antonoff's band, which is Bleachers. Like I love Bleachers. Yeah. So like that's my Jersey go-to. Also Fetty Wap, I guess, because he's like from
I like that variety. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? We're not out here. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of variety, what are some live music venues that either you like to play or that you like to attend in Jersey?
Ooh, my favorite Jersey venue is the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey. Went to my first show there. It's my dream. Yeah, holds a very special place in my heart.
Nice.
The Meat Locker.
The Meat Locker
is an
that's
interesting
grungy.
spot.
That's a grungy spot.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's in Montclair.
It's literally a basement.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a basement. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Not even like a nice basement, like the kind
I mean,
of
if it's
basement.
come on, it's called Meat Locker. It's not going to be
It
fancy.
feels like a meat locker.
I mean, if you walk in there and it doesn't have wood paneled walls or cement, I would be pretty disappointed.
Oh yeah, it's all cement. It's all like grungy and like it's like where all like the punk and metal bands of Jersey play. Yeah.
That's what you need. That's what
It's like the more hardcore version. Like, I mean, I feel like the same kind of show could happen there, just with more intensity, as like an Elks Lodge show, or like a Knights of Columbus show, or like a VFW show.
Bands in Jersey, like they played the VFWs, they played the Elks Lodge, they played the Meat Locker.
Yeah.
Well, so as you're getting ready, thinking about a new album, what role do you see music videos having? Is it something that you would still do? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we do all of our own music videos because we do film as well, and I think that like the idea that we get to sort of keep all of our content creation mostly in house is great because it's another creative outlet, and it means that we just have a little bit more control over the entire product of our brand. And I think music videos are awesome because they're just like, everyone always asks you what songs are about, you know what I mean? And I feel like our answer to that is always, sort of similar, because it's like we just want people to take the songs and make them what they want them to be about, right? Even though we all have, because being three guys that write together, no one person of us does more than the other. So like, it's separate for all of us, and it should be separate for the listener. But the music video is a cool little, look at least into how the song makes us feel. May not be where it came from, but when you see a music video, you're like, this is kind of how it inspires us to feel. So it's like a nice one little other layer to get into the artist's sort of mind. So, yeah.
So you're here at Bunbury. What's up next for you guys in the immediate future, the rest of the year? Clearly summer tour.
Yeah, we're at Bonnaroo next week, and we'll also be at Laura Live in Cleveland next week. We start this Panic Tour July 11th, for us to the 18th. New singles sometime in between all that, hopefully.
But no spoilers.
No tease, though.
No spoilers. Yeah.
Spoilers, putting a little tease. Well, excellent. Stay tuned for much more from Arizona. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change.